everybody, Ben here. So somebody left a question on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel. What do we do if somebody assaults us or tries to prevent us from doing our job when we're out there getting people? Okay. So the short answer is, if somebody assaults me or attempts to stop me from taking somebody into custody, they're probably going to be putting their hands on me, assaulting me, in order to prevent me from taking somebody into custody. I'm gonna defend myself. My teammates are gonna defend me. I'm gonna defend them. That's the easy answer. But there's a lot of what ifs, a lot of scenarios, and there's just too many. There's too many circumstances to really give you a straight black and white answer to that question. But my general answer is, use common sense and make sure that your safety comes first. Now, a lot of people have a different idea of what that means when their safety comes first. I don't mean escalate the situation. I don't mean start pulling spray, tasers, and batons and all that crap off of your bat belt. I mean, use your brain. De-escalate the situation, or remove yourself from the situation if you have to. All right, remember, you found them this time, you can find them next time. I'm not saying be a chicken or run from problems. I'm just saying some things just aren't worth the battle, you know. A good example is you're at somebody's house to pick up their wife or daughter. Most men don't want you to take their wife or daughter off to jail, and they're going to show a little bit of resistance. Now, I don't typically have that issue. I like to think it's because I handle myself professionally, and I can typically negotiate my way out of an issue. But the other part of it is, I'm not a small guy. Most people don't want to challenge me physically, so that helps too. But if I get into a situation where somebody's grabbing on me, they're trying to pull me away from the person I'm trying to take into custody, or they're just outright assaulting me, I'm gonna defend myself. If that means that the person that I'm trying to take into custody gets away, then so be it. I'll catch them next time. If you can remove yourself from the situation, take a step back, regroup, that's always the best answer in that area. Now, if you have somebody that is standing in the doorway, you know, they're not letting you in, I wouldn't recommend pulling your taser out and dropping them like a sack of potatoes. You know, if they're not being aggressive towards you, if they're not, you know, threatening you physically, then I would probably find a different way to deal with the situation. Most of the time you can talk them down, talk them out of the situation escalating without being threatening or becoming the aggressor yourself. It's, you know, really easy as an agent. You know, you're wearing all this cool stuff, you're the tough guy, you got a badge, so you're the one with authority, right? No, I don't think so. I think if you start exerting authority over people that you don't have papers on and that you don't have any reason to, then I think you're going to wind up with yourself in trouble. Now, if you're sitting there looking at the person that you have a warrant for, they're standing, or that you're looking for, and they're standing on the backside of the person stopping you, then I would say, you know, I might take it up a notch, but there's still a fine line between becoming the aggressor and just trying to do your job. You know, maybe I might walk past them, kind of push past them, but I'm not going to assault the person. I'm not going to draw down on them. I'm not going to take them down with my taser. I'm not going to get super aggressive. Like I said, and I've said it 1,000 times, I found them this time, I can find them again. There's no shame in backing off, regrouping, coming up with a different plan. Like I said, if you're good at thinking on your feet, which if you're in this line of work, you should be. Let's just say I'm standing at that door and the guy's like, "Hey man, you're not coming in my house." That's all there is to it. You're not coming in here. Well, if you're by yourself, to me, that's a no-brainer. Just back off and come back, or back off and call one of your teammates to come help you out. Negotiate with the guy. Once your teammate gets there, you can negotiate. You can negotiate with the person you're there for. Say, hey, look, we don't want things to get out of hand. Why don't you just come with us? We don't got to handcuff you. We don't got to do all this craziness. Let's just take a ride down to the PD or to the court or to the jail, wherever you got to go, and, get this taken care of before things get stupid. If it's worth it, if maybe this is the first time you've caught up with this particular person you've been looking for 6 months, and you can never catch her at the house. You don't know where she's living. You don't know where she's hanging out. She happens to be visiting Daddy's house. This may be your last opportunity for a long time to catch up with her. Those are all factors that play into what you do next. Maybe if that was the case, I would say, look, you can stop me from coming in this door, but you can't stop me and my partner from coming in other doors. You can't watch two doors at the same time. This is gonna happen. Don't let it get out of hand. Well, fine. He might say something like, well, fine, you come in this house, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna use deadly force. Well, now he's escalated it to a point where I'm gonna call local law enforcement. I'm gonna say, hey, look, I'm here at this address. The person that I've got a warrant for is here. This is her name. I've tried to negotiate with the father. He's threatening to shoot us if we come in the house. I'd like an officer to come out. Here, they're gonna say, I'm sorry, we can't help you. We can't assist. There's nothing we can do. All right, but you've made the call. You've reached out. You've asked for help. You've covered yourself. If they send an officer out, that's great. Most of the time, the officer's not gonna go in and serve the warrant for you unless it's one of their local warrants. Then they might. Now, I'm talking about here. I know a lot of you guys in other states, you're required to call law enforcement, or they're required to be there with you, or they will come out and help you, or I know there's different circumstances, but in my state, they're not required. They're not prohibited from helping us by law, but most department policies prohibit the officers from helping us via policy. So most of the time, whenever we call, we get blocked. We get the, sorry, there's nothing we can do to help. You're on your own. Call us if things go sideways. So we have to make decisions from that position, from the position of knowing the police will probably not come help us, but we can call anyway. So this is the first time that I've seen this girl in 6 months. I've been by the house 20 times. Now there she is, all right? Is it a felony bond? Is it a misdemeanor bond? Is it a $1,000 bond, or is it a $10,000 bond? These are all deciding factors in what I do next. Is it worth risking a physical altercation with Daddy by pushing past this guy to get my hands on her, or is it worth just backing off, and if I have to pay the bond off, so be it. She'll probably get picked up by the police in a week or two. She'll probably get in trouble again, and we'll be able to get off that bond. These are all things you got to think about. But once you make your decision, make sure that you can live with the consequences of it, good, bad, or indifferent. Make sure that your decision is made not from a place of greed or money, selfishness, or pride. Make sure your decision is made from a position of safety. Always safety. There's not a dollar amount in this world that would be worth me knowingly putting my life in danger. Knowingly. Now, there's a lot of situations that you don't know about, you're not going to know about, just how it is. But if you escalate a situation, because you're a hothead or you got a lot of pride or a huge ego, and you won't be bested by some jerk daddy of a client, then you should probably take a step back and reevaluate your career choices. But if you've got a level head, you're professional, you know what you're doing, you act like you know what you're doing, and that comes through to the people you're dealing with, most of the time they're not going to challenge you anyway. Most of the time they're going to let you do your job. They're not going to be happy about it. They're not necessarily going to like you for it, but they'll stay out of your way. They'll grit their teeth. They'll watch you carry their little girl out in handcuffs, and they'll go down to the jailhouse and try to get her out of jail through another bondsman, or go down to the court and talk to the court. Professionalism. I always preach in my videos, stay professional. Don't drop down to the level of dog cussing people and degrading them and talking to them like they're idiots. Don't come down to that level. All you gotta do is be professional. As long as you're a professional and you're comfortable with the choices you make out there in the field, then everything else will fall into place. Anyway, that's all for now. Ben the Bondsman, signing out. Remember, bail bonding isn't what we do, it's who we are.